I love this part. This is my favorite part.
Yeah. What's that?
You know, this part where you're constantly running back in for one more random thing. But I did get smart. I got 2 pairs of sunglasses now, one for each car. I won't screw that up. But I lost my chapstick. Oh, here's Mike. In one of the many pockets of the Pilot.
That's weird.
Yeah, last night was a lot of fun. In typical S3 fashion, the vinyl graphics got put off, so
We got some secret sauce.
literally the absolute last minute. Look, here's some more.
We got some secret sauce.
Okay, good. This is already starting the way we all knew it was going to start. We're late. We're going to a car museum in Nashville with Don Napier from Import Alliance, if you guys know that dude. And I think they're actually closed today, but they said they were going to kind of open it up for us. So as a courtesy, we're going to be about an hour and a half late.
Yeah.
Mike, are you as stressed over this trip as you were the last trip?
I'm more stressed about the actual racing because I have very, very limited experience on an actual road course.
It's weird because I was thinking about this last night. I'm not stressed about this event. I probably should be, but after the other event, after Neverlift out in California, like I learned a bunch of stuff about me. I try and control little details, which I never really knew about me, and I also realized that you can't control every detail. You can't predict, you know, everything that's gonna go wrong. You can't. So like, yeah, be prepared to a certain extent, but like, I'm really learning throughout this whole thing to just freaking go with it, man. Show where you're like the first like 5 minutes, you're like, look at this, look at this, look at this, and then it just all gets overwhelming. Okay, so the game is we look at all these cars, and then you got to take value out of it completely. So don't let the money or anything like that.
I mean,
you're not going to sell this
guy.
and then put your money in the stock market or buy your beach house that you want to.
Sure I am.
It's one car that you're going to have for the rest of your life.
Okay.
And it's always going to work. It's always going to run. So don't worry about reliability or anything like that. Just style. Just what speaks to you the most from performance, style, function, whatever.
Okay.
Fair enough.
All of the cars here, whether it just be a minivan or a Beetle, if they can get it, is a manual transmission.
It's a Morris Mini 1974. I don't know too much about the Minis, but this looks beautiful. I mean, if you look on the side, the body lines, or the actual kit just spans through the entire car just because it's so small, I'm assuming. And inside, it's strictly business. It's seat, steering wheel, everything's exposed. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but I would daily this. I've got carabiners over everything. I just hang everything up in there. And then it's got a side exit exhaust, which is like, be as loud as you can and be so low that nobody sees you as you fly by.
I need a daily driver. I want something that's fun and awesome. You can just go out and, you know, thrash in the 2013 Lotus Evora S. Perfect car. It's gorgeous. Just look at the lines. It's expensive enough to where it's exotic, but it's cheap enough to where you can actually drive it every day and not feel bad about hurting the vehicle. It's mid-engine, rear-wheel drive. It's a freaking blast. It's just a sexy-ass car.
So, like, Wildcard pick, I would really love to have this thing. It's a freaking Croco, which I had never heard of until right now. It articulates in the center, so it can do this, which is killer. It's got a single rotary in it, so it has the potential to be totally badass. Apparently they tried to get the military to pick up this thing, and it never quite did. But it can literally go anywhere that you're willing to try and go with it.
Me being the basic guy I am, I had to pick the Evo. I was a child when, you know, the whole popularity of Fast and Furious was going on. I've always just felt such a connection with that car.
So this was kind of an honorable mention. This is the Fisker Karma. These cars are really, really cool. You see it, it looks exotic, it looks fun. It's really famous for kind of just catching on fire. Blowing up's maybe a better term.
I picked the Datsun because I'm a Nissan guy and I really love this late 50s, 60s, a little early 70s model look, and it just looks like straight California, Monterey. And the best part is it's automatic.
The Croco is like my wild card. It would be the one that I want like in my garage just as a wow factor or whatever. But like, I guess the real answer, if I had to pick one, would be the Turbo 2. The reason for that is when I was a kid, me and my family would go to the historic races in Monterey every year. The motel that we stayed at, for some reason it was like the hotel that the Renault Club would stay at. That was kind of like the roots of what turned me into a racer, you know, so to speak. It made me like the underdog, the square body cars, the turbochargers, all that kind of stuff. And I guess that's what kind of ultimately led into me liking the tuners, you know, which led into where I am today. So if I were to actually pick a car, this would probably be it for those reasons.
So this one is my favorite. It's a 1967 Toyota Sports 800. 41 that were brought into the U.S. as a test market car to see if it was going to work in the American market. Toyota ultimately decided it wouldn't, so they actually left the cars with the dealers so they could figure out what to do with them. This car has a two-cylinder, horizontally opposed, air-cooled engine in the front, 790 cc's, makes a whopping 45 horsepower, has a top speed of about 95 miles an hour, and actually gets about 50, 60 miles to the gallon. It's as far as a fit, it's a smaller car. I can get in it and fit in it, drive it fine even with the top up. It's along through the traffic just fine. Keeps up with everybody, passes people, and looks great doing it. Just a very sleek, slippery, and a really good-looking design, I think.
So who's the victor?
I'm going to have to say the Evo 6.
Really?
Because it's a perfect car. It's a practical, comfortable, reliable Japanese sedan until you stick your foot in it. So when you want it to, when you need it to, it's a rocket ship.
Showing us.
What little we had the opportunity to really go see.
Hey man, we got the museum. We got Baja Burrito. That's a win.
Oh, where are we headed off to now? Yeah, we are down. Louisville, Kentucky.
We're gonna take this donkey logo and head on over to Louisville. They did such a good job at nailing. It's so funny because the car is totally perfect for its probably intended buyer, which is somebody like me. I'll be 40 this year, grew up around Hondas. Quote, you know, I should have grown up a little bit, I didn't. But then Honda comes back with the Type R. It brings back some nostalgia. You want the car, you've got the money to get it, you get it, right? But then you can leave it stock and you have that car, that adult car. Yeah. But then the second you start throwing parts on this thing, man, it brings back all of those feelings. It gets loud, it gets fun.
Agreed.